Maggie, what? Hey, Orky. I am so terribly sorry. I had a oh my, you look lovely. Uh, yeah. Hold on one second. Eh. Okay. Let's do this thing. There's Orky, and then there's me. And then there was me.
I was just staring at my phone like hi gang!
Hi everybody. Good morning. Big Mac Dan Skull's already here. What's up, my dude?
What's up? What's up?
And good morning, Gothic. Drimp. Dramp. Yes, there are two people here.
Hi, bestie.
Richard, hello.
Still the choke to my coffee.
No. Don't die, Orky. It'll be very interesting trying to explain your current state to the police if you were to die. Just be like, no, she doesn't look like this normally. Oh, puppers, what are you doing? She's like flopping all over the place. Hold on, let's I'm gonna do something I've never done before on stream. We're gonna flip this around so that you can see her.
She's gonna hide straight away. Oh,
Maggie, what are you doing?
Such a good girl.
What a goofball.
Yeah.
Oh, no, she's done. All right. So that was that. That was just for funsies. You know, it was Duggo. Let's make it gothy.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I think your costume looks like it's a lot more put together than this. So
You're in costume. That's all that matters.
I am.
That's all that matters.
This is about as much like at this point in my life, this is about as much effort as I'm willing to put into a Halloween costume.
Ruthless. Ruthless. I love it. How many costumes have I done so far?
At,
4 maybe?
I was about to say at least 4.
At least 4. And then I've got a costume every stream next week as well.
You've got another one for our D&D game in a week.
I may well reuse this costume, to be honest. I am enjoying. I was saying earlier, we were talking about it on my stream earlier, and this is very like what my character would wear, sort of. I don't know if Drow have red eyes, but mine may well have red eyes now, regardless.
They actually, I think they do, because there's a famous Drow that's like kind of a centerpiece of the Forgotten Realms lore. His name's Drizzt or Drizzit, something like that. But he is known as being very different because he has purple eyes.
Ooh.
DC Cool wants me to hydrate.
Ugh. I might be going out straight after the charity stream. My friend, I forgot it was my friend's birthday. That day that we got the charity stream, and he texted me and he was like, "So I know you got the charity stream, but how about you finish the charity stream and you come out afterwards?" And I was like, I could. We'll see. I'm not much of a going out person anymore, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see what the vibe is.
Yeah, I don't go to bars or anything anymore. And like as far as going out, I did my very first like going out doing stuff yesterday. I went and saw Dune in theaters. And
how is it? Is it good?
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. It is the first movie, granted, it is the first movie I've seen in theaters in 2 years, but it was amazing.
I was gonna say like that's shocking, and then I was like, wait, no, pandemic.
Yeah, it's an amazing film. The art direction is fantastic. The score is amazing. It's just the acting phenomenal. It's just a really good film.
I haven't seen the original and I've not read the book.
So it's without spoiling anything, I was chatting with Thunderhead Studios about this, and he actually summed it up pretty well, that it's a good film that and Orkie's probably coming in. Yeah, Orkie's coming in quiet. That's on me. I forgot to turn her up. So she's gonna be louder now, folks. My bad.
Normally I'm too loud, so
now your volume levels are perfect now. So
I start shouting.
So he said that the movie is a great companion for the book, because obviously, like, even if it's like a 2 or a 3-part film series to tell the story of the whole first book, there's still a lot of stuff that they need to cut out for time.
Yeah.
And the stuff they cut out, there is stuff that is significant, quote unquote, that is cut out, but the stuff that is cut out for time does not feel missed, because they were very clever about what they removed, so that there weren't things like, wait, why is this happening? Because they cut a part out that would have explained it. So they were very clever about it.
I like it. I've read all of the Harry Potter books, and I know there's quite a lot that they cut out, but like a lot of the stuff that they cut out, it works without. I mean, there's some really good stuff that they cut out, but like it works without. And then I read the so I watched Shadow and Bone on Netflix, and then I went and read the Shadow and Bone books, and I actually think they've done a beautiful job. I genuinely do think they've done a beautiful job turning that into a TV show. Because the first book is the current first season of the TV show, and there's not that much that they've cut out of it. There is bits that they've cut out, but all of the bits that they've cut out, I was very like, okay, I understand why they've cut this out. This, although it plays a part to the story, you can lose. But that must be such a hard job It's gonna be such a hard job being like, this is a piece of artwork, because that's what books are. They are a piece of artwork, and I'm gonna manipulate and change this, and I'm gonna have to cut some of this out.
This
Like
book is
how?
very dense. It is a very, very
Is that Dune?
dense.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's such a pretty book as
Oh
well.
yeah, I love this. This was like some sort of like limited collector's edition thing from Barnes and Noble,
Oh, love a
and
limited edition.
it is my like one of my especially like it's got the gold on the pages. Ah,
I know, that's so pretty.
it is.
Yeah, you are right, Hammond. Shadow and Bone is the book. The TV show is combined with Six of Crows as well, and like sort of in a way Crooked Kingdom. But I think they butchered Six of Crows book. They did. I wish they'd have just done it as a separate TV show. Six of Crows would have been able to stand on its own two ground. Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom are my two top books. I have never sobbed like the way I sobbed through Crooked Kingdom. Oh my gosh. I still get sad if I think about the ending. It was such an emotional ending. Like the other night, I was laid in bed and a TikTok came up and it reminded me of the book. And then I just started crying because I remembered the end of the book. And I was just sat in bed, like crying about this book that I finished like 2 months ago.
Oh no. Well, there is a book. So when my wife and I were dating, she had this idea that we would go for like our first date, actually. We would go to the bookstore. We'd go to Barnes and Noble and we would split up and we would pick a book that we like that we want the other person to read.
That sounds amazing.
It was a great idea. I gave her the first book in the Dresden Files, which if you don't read that, if you like Harry Potter, this book series may be familiar to you because it's about a wizard named Harry, but he lives in Chicago. And he's just a wizard for hire. Like he has an ad in the newspaper that says, you know, like lost things found, magic done, no kids parties, no love potions. And he's just a really fun character. He has a skull with a spirit in it named Bob, and Bob's like an info spirit. It's pretty cool.
He has a servo skull.
Basically. Yeah, he has a servo skull. He has a magical servo skull. But I gave her the first book of the Dresden Files series, and she gave Have Fun at the Ren Fair, Gothic Garlic.
Have
fun. But she gave me a book called A Man Called Ove.
Okay.
By Frederick Bachman, and I'd never heard of this author. I'd never read this book, and she specifically told me, "Hey, let me know when you're in the last third of the book." She didn't tell me why. She just said, "Let me know when you're in the last third of the book." I'm like, "Okay." Well, I just get so into the story. I just blitz through it, and I'm like speeding through the last section of the book, and she turns up and she looks at me, and I'm weeping at the end of the book, and she's like, "Did you get to the end?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. Oh, I'm okay, pup. I'm okay.
Oh.
She's right down.
Making sure you're okay.
Yeah, she's looking at me like,
Papa, you okay?
Dad, you all right, Dad? So, Orkie, we are on a hobby podcast.
We are on a hobby.
And while books are a hobby, reading books is a hobby, folks. Oh, but before we transition to like talking about painting and playing 40K or whatever, a book recommendation. Let's each give a book recommendation to chat. Ooh. Seeing as how we've been talking about our particular book tastes. What book was that? Jem, it was called A Man Called Ove, or The Man Called Ove. I believe it's A Man Called Ove. OVE. Oh, and hi, Jem.
Jem should be out doing work. Get out of chat, Jem.
But my book recommendation to chat is the Stormlight Archive book series by Brandon Sanderson. That is my book recommendation. I think that is a modern day fantasy classic.
I've only just got back into reading. So I'm going to recommend Six of Crows. Six of Crows, honestly, that book has changed my life. I love that book. I don't stop going on about that bloody that buddy geology. I love those two too much. Go read it, chat. Go read it. You'll love it.
There's not a geologist, but there's an ecologist in Dune.
Oh, ecologist.
The Imperial Ecologist. Here's like 1,000 pages of book for your recommendation. Yeah, the Stormlight Archive is now a series of 3, possibly 4. I don't know if the 4th book has come out yet, but the audiobooks are fantastic. So if you guys
I need a new audiobook.
The guy actually it's a pair. That's the best part, is that they're the book alternates from various people's perspectives, but not like a John Grisham novel where like it's like 20 different characters. Like I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 per part so it's easy to keep track of who you're following. Yeah. But for all the female points of view, they have a female like voice actor reading, and then for all the male parts they have a male reading.
That's the same as Six of Crows. Each character is different, so each chapter is from a different character's perspective, and each one is voiced by somebody else. So now I can't get their voices out my head. Like they are the voices of those characters now in my mind.
I think you would like the Stormlight Archive. The characters are very well fleshed out. I'm actually re-listening to the first book, or actually no, I'm on the second book again. I'm re-listening to it and listening to it again. There are certain things that I'm picking out that I'm like, oh, now I'm seeing why I identify with this character more, because clearly they are dealing with X or they are suffering from Y, and I'm like, I remember what that was like for me. So
I tab all my books now. I've got into book tabbing, which I absolutely adore. It's my new hobby. And like it really I love it so much. I literally just put little tab notes, like little sticky notes, they're only tiny, next to like a bit that's really sad or really happy or a love moment or a bit that makes me feel like badass feminine moment, because like I'm reading a book at the moment that's got 2 female lead characters, or like something that makes me angry. Like I have them as all different colors, so like my book looks really pretty from the outside. It's my new favorite thing. It's such a weird little hobby that I've picked up. Yeah, I love it so much.
I've heard of that, but I didn't know that it was called, as dumb as it sounds, like, because it makes so much sense. I didn't know that it was called tabbing.
I don't know. That's what I've just referred to it as. I don't know if it's a proper like a thing. I've not watched any YouTube or anything like that. I saw it on TikTok. One girl do it on TikTok, and I was like, "That's cool. I want to do that." And I just started doing it. That's the ADHD for you. Finding something new that I can get dopamine out of.
Yeah, and then that's how this happened.
That's how this happened. Yeah.
So that is a wonderful transition. What are you painting right now?
Oh God, so much. Where to start? So I started today. I've got a gorgeous model. I don't know who the original like company that designed it, but I got it printed by the Wonder Emporium, which is like an Etsy shop that I support. And it's just this little like forest witch sort of looking. She hasn't got a head at the moment because I left the head off for ease. And then I've got the Wolfenberg Crypt Stealers Blood Bowl team that I'm trying to work my way through. And what else is on my desk? I finished the big Gear Guts War Boss. I have 3 Gear Guts killer cans for my community challenge. I've got my kill team on my desk. I have a squig buggy on my desk. I have a couple of bikes on my desk. I have a problem. I start too much and then I can never finish anything.
I kind of get that, but then again, oh my goodness, dog. She's like dancing all over the place. What's your deal? You just went outside. Do you need... She can't.
I want a pupper. I want a pupper.
Oh, she is the best puppers. Like, unfortunately, she's setting such a high standard. Any subsequent dogs I have over the course of the rest of my life, I'll just look at you. I'll look at them and be like, I love you, but you're not Maggie. You're not Maggie.
That I feel the exact same, but with my rats. I know I want more rats, but no rat will ever compare to Cicero and Caesar. Yeah. And I'll always look at my pets and be like, I don't think you'll ever be as good.
You're
as
cool,
but
you're not that cool.
My OGs, yeah.
And well, I mean, Maggie's my very first dog. So like, I'm like, of course my first dog's gonna be absolutely perfect, and it's just gonna be like,
always.
All right,
It's like
so
the first storm.
I do not like having to like get up and leave like half this room with dead air. But I think she might have to pee. So
Go, go,
I'm
go,
just
go,
gonna
go,
let her out.
go.
I'll be gone and I'll be back in like 10 seconds.
That's all
So
right.
sorry everybody, pro podcast right here. So Orky, just talk to chat. Say hello to
I
chat.
can talk for years, so it's all good. This is literally what I do for a living. Talk shit. I don't paint. I don't paint. How dare you? How dare Rhino abandon me in this time of need? What's everyone been working on this weekend? What is everybody on everybody else's desk? I know a couple of the guys in here. I've seen a couple of bits and pieces from some of the guys. I know Dan's working on Squig Rider. Doom showed us some awesome Creed Death Riders at the moment, which are really cool. I have about 600 pet rats. If my Skaven army counts, I have a Skaven army box just behind me.
Okay,
The
okay,
I
okay.
really need to start painting. I just haven't got around to it yet. I want to do them as like Romans. Like I don't know why, just Roman colors look. I think they'll look really cool on a Skaven army. Rapping some Sisters of Battle. I printed for my friend's birthday. Dope. Thanks to Doom.
But yeah,
Dope. Hi Kai.
and speaking of Roman, the new
Mm.
one of the new conquest armies that's coming out next year, early next year, undead Roman legions is like the best description of
What's wait what?
conquest. Conquest is a new tabletop game that apparently is very similar to Warhammer Fantasy, like the original Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh.
And it's apparently very easy to pick up. And unlike GW, Parabellum puts all the rules for the game up online for free with an actual
Oh.
quality army builder and whatnot. And when you buy, hey Appa Girl's my sister. Hey buddy. But and also like the starter box is literally two full armies. It's not like almost two full armies. It's two
Oh,
full
I might
armies.
have to get into that.
Oh, it's and the models are really cool. Like there's a kind of an orc faction. They're called the Wadroon. They have like lady orcs riding feathered velociraptors.
Hell yeah, that sounds like my vibe.
And then like big stompy boys. It's really really cool.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna
but
have to have a look at that.
one of these new factions is the one that I'm like. But yeah, Big Mac Dan's called just all caps. Big no Orky, no more minis.
No more minis for Orky. Orky's not allowed. Orky has decided, so I have decided that in 2022, I aim to clear out my entire backlog. Next year, I want to clear out my entire backlog. I want everything painted. I have over well, painted or given away. So like I saw Age of Squidma did this where he was like, I'm gonna cut down my backlog. My aim is to get rid of my entire backlog, whether that means giving it away in like prize giveaways on stream, or I sell them, or I flip them, so I paint them and then I sell them, or I just get them bloody painted. I don't care. I want my backlog at least like maybe have like the odd thing, but I need my backlog manageable next year. Otherwise, I'm gonna really struggle. I'm gonna really struggle.
You got this, Orky. That's a really good and very accomplishable goal to do an episode to do like a focused reduction. And you have so many avenues that you can do it. Like you paint it,
Mhm.
you're like, okay, I like this, or I don't even feel like painting this. Just sell it. And you have a wonderful chat that might just be like, if you throw a note into me saying hello, I'll buy it from you, and
Buy
they'll.
it. Well, I literally went through it, and there's so much that I actually have that like I just keep saying like I'm not gonna do that until this. So I have like all of the cruel boys from Dominion that I was determined I was going to paint. I have a color scheme, I have a design that I know I want to do, but I need to do this first, and I need to do this first, and I want to get this done first, and I can't justify starting it until I've done this. And there's just, it's like 15th or 16th on my list. And I realised by the time I get to it, I could have just bloody bought it again. Like, I could just sell it now, get it out of the way so I'm not stressed about it, and then just rebuy the models when I'm ready to start doing that project. So that's what I'm trying to stay in my head. I can always rebuy the models. I can always get them back.
Yep, you can. There is nothing that we have access to that we couldn't get access to again.
Exactly.
I guess in that regard, I'm kind of lucky. Everything I've painted this year has been for me. Well, except I did do my very first commission, which wasn't Warhammer related. It was a bunch of and by a bunch I mean 5 war game not war game. Oh god, what's the company called? Damn, but they were Judge Dredd figures.
Yeah.
And they were a lot of fun to paint, especially because they were like my first like attempt at like a comic book non-metallic metal.
Comic books hard.
Warlord Games,
I'm
that's
really
it. Thank you, Big
struggling.
Boss. Warlord. But now my backlog is the army that I'm working on right now. After that, it's just a bunch of little small projects that I have the stuff for, but it's just supplemental, like make an assault intercessor sergeant with a power hammer, like nothing significant. And
Yeah.
like I'm potentially, if I get the scheme figured out, I'm gonna have this army done by the end of the year. So I will have done 5 armies in 1 year.
That's impressive. I haven't even done so in 1 year. I painted 1 model for my orc army.
Yeah, for your personal orc army, but that's not the only thing you painted.
No, I painted like 4 things this year.
Well,
I'll
the
round up. I'd go to 10. I'd go to 10. I've painted 10 things this year. If you don't include my commissions, I've painted maybe 10 things for myself.
No, you have to include your commissions. You can't say like, "Oh, you've painted 10 things for your personal stuff this year." Yes, which okay, but you've
That's
done
still
commission.
terrible.
It's not
That's still terrible.
it's
10 things in a year. That's
not.
not even 1 a month.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a quality level to your paint jobs. there's an expectation, whereas like I want to paint like Sauce but faster. And so like my quality level just dips because of it.
I get so obsessive. 10's a strong roundup. 10 is probably a strong roundup, to be fair. I just get so obsessive in the details. I just get so obsessive in the details. I was talking yesterday about like speed painting. I think speed painting is a really interesting concept. I think it's really cool. I'm enjoying speed painting my Nighthorn. I am enjoy well, hey, there you go. I've painted more than 10 models for my Nighthorn.
There you go.
That's 10 right there. I've enjoyed speed painting them because that's been like a very interesting project for me to step away and not get obsessive over the details. But if it's an army that like I don't know that I really love, I just get so obsessed with like but then I never finish it. And this is a problem and I'm trying to learn my own boundaries with this because there is an aspect to making sure I get the quality that I'm happy with. But a lot of the times I get so obsessed with the quality and all the little details that I don't end up finishing the model. So is there any point? Am I better off finishing the models or am I better off leaving them half done, but the quality looks really good on them, the bits that I have done on them?
Are you asking that rhetorically or do you want my opinion?
I mean, yeah, throw your opinion at me.
Okay, so I heard and I apologize, like they could be here in chat, but I do not remember where I heard this, but it's something that really does influence how I paint. It's don't let the perfect get in the way of the good.
Mm,
Don't have the desire to have a mini look perfect. Like I mean, don't get me wrong, like if we all had like golden demon level painted models for a whole army. Oh, that'd be amazing. Oh, that'd just be that kind of like feeling in my chest would probably be strong enough to induce a heart attack. Like that amount of pride. But ultimately for me, and this is not it for everybody, but I paint to play. But I want my
mhm.
armies to look good. So it's me making that decision to balance how quickly I want to make this army. Like, do I want to find like a super microscopic, like ground up orange glitter that I can sprinkle over the dirt in this model to make it look like there's bits of spice in the
Yeah.
sands. Yes. Do I have time to do that? No. So what am I going to do? I'm going to like splatter paint some really bright copper and then call it done. So it's just being willing to make. Oh,
Sacrifices.
so the first time chat from a viewer actually just made a really good point. A full army of okay painted minis looks better than 2 painted minis and a bunch of blanks.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not too, so my thing is, because I don't play often enough. I definitely don't play as often as I would like. I would love to be able to play a lot more than I do. I play maybe once a month, once every 2 months. If I would say once every 2 months is more accurate. Um, Once a quarter maybe. But so I only get that drive to really finish my army after I've played and I've seen that my army isn't finished on the board. Whereas if I go like a week or two without playing, I sort of forget what it feels like not to have my minis painted, and I start thinking about other projects and I start painting other things, and that's my problem. I paint other things instead of my army.
Yeah.
My armies, I love my army. I love my orcs. I'm obsessed with my orcs. I love them so much. But I just get so I have so many ideas, and I think being a Twitch streamer as well. I don't know whether you get this, Rhino, or any of the Twitch streamers that I can see in chat. Like I always want to keep my content fresh as well. And if I'm getting bored of a model, if I'm on my own and I'm by myself and I'm watching some TV or read or listening to an audiobook or whatever, if I'm bored, it's fine. I can power through. But if I'm bored live, that is not fun. That is not fun. I should always be having the most fun while I'm live. And my problem is if I start getting bored of a model, I can't make that engaging for my viewers because I'm bored of the model. If I'm done with a paint job, my viewers know I'm done with a paint job. They can see it on my face. I don't even need to say anything. They can just tell.
That
So,
is a really interesting point that yes, like from one perspective, just as painters, like we could be sitting there and just be like, ugh, I need to
mhm,
paint another 40 Necron warriors, kill me, but I'm gonna do it anyway, but I'm not gonna have fun doing it. But we also, as content creators, have to do that and still like make it entertaining for our viewers because you more than me, this is like a primary source of income for you.
yeah, this is my only source of income.
This is her only source of income.
Yeah, this is full time for me. So for me, and it's not about I don't want to stay relevant. It's not about making sure that people. It's not even as much from making sure that people are engaged in what I'm painting. It's literally the fact that if I don't want to paint while I'm by myself, that's fine. I can power through that. But while I'm live, you're not going to get conversation out of me. I'm not going to be in a good mood. I'll just be shutting down and focusing on my model. And nobody wants to watch that. I wouldn't want to watch that. And I hate it. And there's been so many times I've worried you're going to yeet a model across off camera. Yeah, I know when to step back from my models now because there's a point where being mad and getting frustrated with a model is funny and I even have a laugh with it. But there's a point where I'm like, I can't. I literally don't want to, and if I don't want to, as much as I worry about it being entertaining for other people and people finding my stream entertaining, I also have to sit for 6 hours. I don't want to be doing something that I'm not enjoying. I want to be enjoying what I'm doing while I'm live. So it's sort of yeah, it's a balance you gotta find, I think.
When I was
And
working on the Cosmic Rhinos, I had that exact same insight. I'm like, I've been working on this army on stream for like months. This is all
mhm,
people have seen me work on. They have to be getting bored. And
yeah,
that started me not worrying, but I think ultimately people come for the streamer, like they're watching paint dry on a model. They're coming
yeah,
to see you, not the model. And if you don't want to work on something on stream, like you said, work on it off stream.
yeah,
Or make like because you have enough commissions or you have enough specialized different projects that you're working on, um, transition to like working on those on stream and then doing your own armies on your personal time and making that like a hard rule for yourself.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
still not done with the
yeah.
Cosmic Rhinos.
So, I mean, some models that you don't enjoy are still fun for chat. Plane enters chat. That bloody plane. It's like a year old now. Still not finished that. That
No.
pop lane, that pop lane. But no, I think it's definitely like I think it's definitely a balance, and like even for my own mental health, I don't do well slogging at a big job for a long time. I don't do well. I get bored very quickly of models. I've learned over time I cannot take army commissions. I've got an army commission right now, and I will never take another army commission. I don't care what people pay me. I won't do it.
So have you, being another ADHD person, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos from that How to ADHD channel. And one of
Hmm.
the biggest ones, or one of the biggest things that I took away, because we're all different, things will work for us at different levels, but I found deadlines that I self impose
Yeah,
take my motivation level from like a 3 to an 11. That's how I managed
yeah.
to do 3,500 points of custodies in less than 2 weeks.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting watching you do that. I was just like, I don't know how you did that, honestly, man. I don't know how
Uh,
you did that.
it's a combination of streaking grime, because streaking grime makes everything better every time.
Streaking Grime OP!
Uh-huh. So it's streaking grime, and then just figuring out what my color scheme was and making it easily replicatable, because 95% of the army, like of their bodies, is
Mhm.
painted using the airbrush, and then I just go in and I do trim
Yeah,
and then OSL. That's it. That's all it
yeah.
is. It's airbrush, trim, OSL. Done.
Done.
The
Yeah.
basing takes 45 seconds because it's supposed to be muddy and gross and dirty and dingy.
So you can just slap it on and you're not worrying as much. Yeah, I get you. I don't, I see. For me, you just explained that, and as much as like watching you do that looked like so much fun, and getting all those models done looked so fun, the thought of that makes me not want to ever paint again. Like, no, I just that just does not interest me at all. I have mad respect for speed painters, mad respect. I think it's such a oh, my contact lens just got stuck. Um, I think it's amazing. I think it's stunning work that people manage to pull out in such short time. I
Well,
just I just I just don't find it interesting. I find it so boring when I do it myself. When I do it myself, I just get bored so quickly. Yeah.
yeah,
But
the
I think that's the beauty of the hobby, isn't it? I think there's so many avenues for so many people to like latch onto. You can do anything within this hobby
mhm.
that you find interesting. And if there's bits that you don't find interesting, you just don't have to do. It's as simple as that. You just don't have to do them.
Y- Absolutely. And I mean, you are like I can appreciate your appreciation of speed painting, because you are speaking to the man who dethroned the sauce as fastest Mortarian painter on the internet.
You are the fastest painter on the internet for
Yeah, like I
Marsharian. You
defy
are
you to find a
the.
video that has painted it faster than me. Um,
Did Orky get in that wine bottle? Do I sound drunk? I'm sober, I'd like to point out.
who do you, little shit? So, but yeah, what and that what I had said before about how the idea of deadlines works really well as a motivator for me.
Hmm.
That is specifically for a motivator for me. It isn't necessarily something that, even if you have ADHD, and deadlines are the kind of things that can like artificially induce that dopamine drip that may not be
Hmm.
there on a project, doesn't work for everybody. So finding something that works, like you realizing you don't do army commissions, like it's just not something that you can focus on. Sweet. That's one problem solved. Just be like, Orky does really awesome character models. You do one, be super excited about it, and be like, I have finished this. Yeet. On to the next one.
Yeet. I love characters. Character models and like HQs and elites and like that sort of stuff is my favorite thing about the hobby. I am quite happy only painting 20 models a year, and I can accept the fact that I'm not finished an army or I've not finished projects. If I can look at every single one of them and go, wow, I painted them to the best of my ability. There's not a thing I'd change. There's not a thing I'd change. I enjoy. I was talking yesterday about it actually. I enjoy what we call level up jobs, like level up paint jobs, where you get a model and you've like put your heart and soul into it, and then you look at it and you go, that's better than anything I've ever painted before. And you don't paint any lower than that now. Like that's your new ability. And I love it when they happen because they sometimes you're aiming for it. Sometimes you're like, I'm gonna paint the best I've ever painted, and it just doesn't happen. And then there's been models like Grimm's Cry from Hex Hamlet. Like when that happened, that was just a whim. And I stood back from that model and I was like, sheesh, I did such a good job. Like how did I pull this out? And that's like,
Sheesh.
sheesh. And I think they're the greatest moments for me in this hobby. But that only happens for me when I'm doing character models and I'm doing those independent models rather than like large projects.
And I've also found that a great way, like I know that kit bashing is something that some people love to do, some people hate to
Hmm.
do, some people don't want to do. But you can take an average paint job, and if you put it on a kit bash model, all of a sudden it makes the model look so much better.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and yeah, same thing for these custodies. Like something as simple as like I put a green stuff cape on an Achilles dreadnought, or just putting a different head on all my dudes. Like it makes them look better because they don't
Hmm.
look the way you expect them to look. And all I did was put a different head on it. That's
Yeah.
it.
I've done like some little stuff, like little kit bashes. They're not huge kit bashes at all. Like um on Yanastra, I don't know how you say a bloody name. Minan.
Minan.
Anyway, Minan. I didn't like the way her head and her arms sat, and I didn't like the way the
Her what?
words, her wings sat.
Right. Orky didn't like the angle of Hernan's dangle, so she had
Yeah, I
to
didn't.
correct that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So I literally cut her wings. I cut it up, and then we ended up adding an extra cape on the back, and that was such a little kit bash for me. But it was like I stepped back and I was like, I just kit bashed. That was my first like proper just on a model, not like from beginning to end because I've done that with the Wambulance before, but this was my first ever time where it looked good, like in my opinion, if that makes sense. It looked good. And now I actually do it. Now I just like change models. It's only in small ways, but I feel like I am starting to get there with the kit bashing. Just in small little ways it's built up my kit bashing ability, definitely.
And just like you said, like just right there, like model reposing, like it's kind of hard to see on this patriarch, but normally he's got both of his feet much closer together and he's kind of like perched on a
Yeah.
pipe. And I'm doing the desert vibe. So having him stand on a pipe makes no sense. So I had to cut him
Hmm.
off the pipe, and I was posing his feet, and one of them was sticking a little too far out, and I'm like, wait a minute, that actually looks more dynamic. That looks like he's
Yeah.
doing this like weird little like hunched point and pose. So I just had to green stuff his leg in place. And it wasn't even a good green stuff job. Once it's primed, you can't tell the difference. But
Yeah.
little stuff, just little reposing.
Yeah, it's really small things. It was my shock jump dragster as well. Like I did a little bit of kit bashing on that and I was super happy with. Like I had a gap in one of the it's just like the piping on it. There was just this really small gap and it drove me up the wall. I couldn't stand this gap. I was like, there wouldn't be a gap there. It should all be sealed together. I'm going to get the green stuff out. And it was so natural. I just was like, I'm just going to fix this. And I remember that evening I came off that stream and I was like, oh my gosh, I literally just changed a model on a whim. I didn't think about it. I didn't stress about it. I didn't worry about it. I didn't plan it. I just did it. And we even came up with like a whole thing. I came up with like, so rather than trying to make it look really clean, I ended up wrapping green stuff round and pretended it was duct tape. So I made it look like they've duct taped like some of the vehicle together, which orcs would
Of
100%
course they
do.
would.
Yeah, and I've walked away from it and I've like changed such little things, but it's made it so like it's my model now, and I'm really starting to understand why people kit bash to the levels that they do. I really am starting to understand it. I never used to understand it. I used to be like, but there's the model, just get the model and just prime it and put paint on it. Just so easy. Why would you change it? Like that's just more difficult. And now I really I'm starting to understand the essence of kit bashing, which I'm really glad I have experienced it.
Yeah, the and I was telling Monument Slow Fuse. I was telling him like, oh yeah, and this was right before I started the Custodes project. I'm like, I'm cutting them, I'm pinning them, and I'm making them taller. And he's like, I remember when I was like you. I remember when I was like you, and I would customize every single one of my armies, and all this and so on. And he's like, now I don't got time for that. Now I'm just gonna paint the models because I'm happy with playing with the models the way they look. And I'm like, I get that perspective, and I definitely get how that would probably happen over time. But for
Do
the
you think it's like
time
a
being,
curve? You start like really low, and then you just slowly like you hit a peak of kit bashing, and then like your youth, and then you just slowly deteriorate with your kit bashing. Like I can't be bothered. I'd be right. I can't be bothered. I'll just leave it as it is, and then eventually you just don't kit bash anymore.
absolutely, like I could see that definitely being like even the circumstance for me. Like come back to me 10 years later, it's like, hey Doc, have you done any cool kit bashed armies yet, or recently? No.
No.
And even to a certain extent, these this Gene Stealer cult army, for the most part, like there's only one model that is genuinely like kit bashed and converted. Everything else, the most I've done is I put capes on them. And I've tried to make their basing make them look a little more dynamic. There's not really a lot that I'm changing about this army, but it's just
Hmm.
I'm finding how to do the subtle changes, the easy changes on me. Granted, like green stuff capes are not hard, they're also not easy.
They're not easy. They're not easy at all. I've done one, and it's not something that I would jump into doing again.
Oh,
It's definitely
I have repeated what the sauce has taught me to the point. Also, hello, old man Warhammer coming in with his drop kicking a door open. Good morning, heretics.
morning heretics.
You almost got me to say hello. Not a heretic, loyal Imperium follower here. Now let me just go talk to my patriarch and make sure you're cool to hang out with us.
I said patriarchs only. Yeah, no,
He just
heretics
wants to,
only.
whisper in your ear really quick. Just don't mind his tongue. So, the thing with the green stuff capes, I did what Sauce had taught me how to do so many times now, where I can make a half decent looking cloak pretty easy. And I think I might actually do a tutorial on my method, even though my method is just like the Sauce's method plus like extra steps for like a visual thing. Like I like my cloaks really like beaten up and tattered, no perfect like pristine cloaks here. Lots of raggedness.
Well, I think that's the thing. If you put your own spin on it, and I know I've said this before, but like, no method. It doesn't matter what it is. There is no method that is unique anymore. There
Oh,
isn't. There's no paint job that's unique anymore. This hobby and art in general has been around. Like art in general has been around thousands and thousands of years. We are using techniques that have been handed down over generations. I could do a tutorial tomorrow, and there will be a tutorial that's already out there that is basically the same. But it's about what like little things you bring to it, and it's also about how you deliver it as well. Because me and you, we could deliver the exact same tutorial, but the way we did it would be completely different.
yeah,
Because there's
yours would
ways
be
that I
edited and
enjoy.
mine wouldn't be.
Well, no, because I enjoy certain tutorials. I don't like photography tutorials, for instance. I learn nothing from a photography tutorial. If you take photos of each step and show me, I won't learn anything. But there's loads of successful people on Instagram that do that, and there's loads of people that have done it through that. I just can't do that. It's just the way my brain works. So, I would deliver it in a different way to you, and I'd deliver it in a different way to anybody else in chat. So I think it is important that we keep, even though like, yeah, you're just doing another method and you're adding your own spin to it, you will help somebody because of the way that you've delivered it and the way that you presented it.
And I mean that's
So do it. Do
yeah.
it. This is my sign to do it, Rhino. I want to see some tutorials from you. Do it.
I don't I mean, I will do live tutorials, but I don't think I'll ever do a tutorial that I like edit and put on YouTube. Like I just showed someone last night how to do a green stuff cloak,
Mhm.
and I literally was on the call. I'm like, okay, we're gonna roll out our green stuff. Okay, you got it all mixed up. Okay, we're gonna make it into this shape, put it on some wet parchment paper, put another piece of, roll it out. Okay, now go do something else for an hour and 15 minutes. And we just stayed on the call. Like, I played Left 4 Dead for an hour, and he like painted. And then I'm like, okay, are we ready? Like, I'm not gonna be like, if I did put on a YouTube video, it would have an hour of like, okay, and now we're gonna watch me play video games for an hour while we wait for the green stuff. Because
You could just stop the camera and restart the camera, Rhino.
no, but
There is a stop.
that would require editing on my part. I would have to splice together 2 videos, and I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, ugh. But the whole thing you said about art, like there is truly no such thing as an original idea, just in life in general.
Yeah.
There are so many people probably coming up with the same idea before or even at the exact same time as you. I used to remember what that was called. It was like spontaneous parallel something. But
yeah, something.
because there are examples of like the same invention in history, like the same thing was invented with almost essentially the exact same design by 2 people who did not know each other, did not know somebody who knew them. They had no way of knowing the other person was designing this thing, and they were on opposite ends of the world when they invented these things within
it's
days
where
of each other.
100%. It's we were talking about chainsaws the other day in the Discord, and that like chainsaws are often. We were talking about medical weirdness, um, but like chainsaws, a lot of people believe that they were used for medical reasons before anything else. Like before anything else, they were used for medical reasons. But it's just because the chainsaws that we see now are closely related to the chainsaws of the time, but there was like 10 different ones that people had created that you would all say were chainsaws. Like everything is the same, we're just changing it ever so slightly, so it is really hard to separate stuff. I call wet blending smooshing because I never knew what wet blending was. I was just like, just smoosh your paints together, and someone was like, "You mean wet blending, Arky?" And I'm like, "Nah, it's smooshing, isn't it? You just smoosh paints together." And they're like, "No, the technical term is wet blending." And I was like, "Well, I probably will never call it that. It is smooshing to me." And I
So
thought I was dead original. Like, I wonder why nobody's like thought about just sticking the paints together. I've never seen this before. And then I realized that's what wet blending was. I just did it in a more caveman-like way.
so in America, in certain groups, smooshing means something completely different. So when I just like
Is it being rude? Is it rude right now?
it's bedroom talk, but it's like if you came over to someone's house and said, "Hey, you want to smoosh?" and they're like, "Yeah," and then you hold up paints, they're gonna be really confused.
Why has none of my Americans ever told me this?
Isn't
None
that
of the
no
Americans in my chat
splooshing?
have never.
Splooshing is
Smooshing
another.
is something.
That is
Smooshing is
something.
something else.
That's something different too. But also yes, but no smooshing. Yeah, like real Goaty said it. Snooki makes mush mush. Yep, that's a Jersey Shore thing.
No, just call it smooshing. You're smooshing together, don't you? And like, spit blending is like a thing, but I always used to just say like, "Oh, if you just use a bit of spit's fine." And then someone was like, "Yeah, this is an actual method. You should probably learn how to do this properly." And I'm like,
Acha,
"Why?" Like, I
apacha.
thought
Who the hell
I,
said that? Learn how to do
I
it properly. Do it the Orky way or no way at all.
I was just like because when I discovered Warhammer, there was me and 2 other people, and that was the knowledge I had of Warhammer. So the first couple of years that I was getting into Warhammer before I started my Instagram and I started Twitch and everything like that, I didn't really engage with the community in any way. I didn't really watch tutorials. I just taught myself. I was completely self-taught. I just took what I knew from my art degree and applied it to my Warhammer. I've just completely frozen.
Yes, you have. In a wonderful pose. Hold on,
I know.
let me just. No. Orky, no. You are
It's
still.
Discord. It's Discord. Wait, let me. Why is my camera just completely? That's just rude.
That is rude. Come on, come on. Discord, you're making our sweet Orkie. Like, why would you pause? Like, why couldn't you pause with her post like this?
It was my OBS. It was my OBS for some random reason.
Okay, problem solved. But like, why couldn't you have posed like, and then it paused there? Why couldn't it have like? Why do the freeze frames always look
the best? The best. Can't remember what I was saying. I'm just distracted.
They said you were summoning the painting gods.
I was summoning.
That was the painting god summoning pose. So when it comes to like all of this is, it seems like we're kind of developing a theme of what we're talking about here. Approaching how we paint, approaching what we paint, and the time that we apply or are capable of applying to these things, and then working within that constraint. So what do you think? Because like I told people what I found my tip is. If you're like me, if you self-impose a deadline, like, can I finish this? Like as a challenge, not I need to. It's can I get all this painted to a standard that I am happy with by X date? In this case, the end of the year. Can I do an almost 3,000 points of Gene Stealers in 2 months? Because it's like it's 2 months till Christmas Eve. Like, can I finish this by Christmas?
It said the C word.
Well, I know I can't finish it by Thanksgiving, which is the superior holiday. Let me repeat that, chat. Thanksgiving is the better holiday than Christmas.
I don't celebrate Christmas, so it's fine. Yule trumped everything.
Yeah, I'm no Halloween, as in you're saying people are saying Halloween is the superior holiday.
Halloween is the best holiday of the year. Halloween most definitely is the best holiday of the year.
The best holiday of the whole year? Arbor Day.
Halloween's the best one. No,
Arbor
Halloween.
Day. Gotta go hug a tree.
That isn't even like a real thing. No.
You take that back. Shenanigans.
We don't celebrate it over here in T-land, so it can't be that. It can't be real, can it?
Okay, well, we've got several people saying Halloween is the best holiday.
Hey, that's my chat. That is. Chat supporting me. Hell yeah.
Well, maybe it's because I don't have a significant desire. Like, okay, I'm the guy who, like, if I want to dress up, I want to do it more like to a level of cosplay than a level of Halloween costume, because I always see cosplay as going like a step above a costume. And I always set insanely high standards for myself. Like if I was going to cosplay as like for a while back when I still had hair, I was like, I want to do Captain America Winter Soldier cosplay, like bearded cap. And like, I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to get in really good shape and have like a super high quality costume. And I'm like, I'm never going to spend money on that. I'm just never going to do it. So no, I'm not going to do that. Do you have trees in the UK?
Halloween's the best time of year. You can be full fury and it's only half all right.
All right, hold on. You guys don't believe Doc with hair existed? You want a picture of Doc with hair? I got a picture of Doc with hair for you.
I got a little picky Doc with hair.
There he is. Yeah, that's
not you.
That's me. That's me. And that's the guy from Binging with Babish. And also I had a shorter beard. He's much shorter than you might think. Yeah, right?
I'm baffled.
Yeah, I had hair. I swooped it to the side and everything.
Swooped it to the side and everything? Little
but now, gaze upon me and witness fear. Yep.
Look at it. You need to shave it. You need to make it all smooth. Smooth.
I said I was gonna do that. My wife said no. No. Leave the stubble. I'm like, fine.
Fine.
You don't want to recreate America's ass as Captain America? I do. Why do you think I do squats?
All the squats.
All the
All
squats.
the
Because
squats.
I,
All the squats.
Chris Evans, I will be America's ass.
I will be America's ass. I'll be Britain's ass. I don't mind. I don't mind.
We just need like one member of each community to represent their country as like they are. Like Orky is the United Kingdom's ass. Dr. Rhino is America's ass.
I'm a bit of an asshole, so I
Cosmic
don't mind.
Leviathan is an ass.
It is an ass. It's just as simple as that.
So you're gonna be Arkansas? No, I'm not gonna. I'm not. I don't want to be Arkansas. I don't want to be anywhere near Arkansas.
Right. I don't even know where that is.
Rhino used to look like Kiefer Sutherland. Who the hell is Kiefer Sutherland? Oh, that's the guy from 24. No, I didn't. That hurts. That hurts my feelings.
People. I feel so uneducated. I don't know anything.
Kiefer Sutherland's
I don't know nothing.
He's an actor. He was in he was also in there's a show called like something Survivor, like the Designated Survivor or something, because he played like the Department of Agriculture's head, and then like the entire Capitol blew up, and every time there's a member of the cabinet that has to be like set aside somewhere for the impossible scenario where everyone else dies and he becomes president.
I don't know. Every time people talk about TV and film, I'm always just like, I don't know what you guys are on about. I feel so uneducated with like that sort of thing.
And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have ways and times that we choose, or ways that we choose to spend our free time. And
I feel like I'd be shit in a pub quiz.
Oh, I'm amazing at pub quizzes. I'm sure my wife, if she heard me say that, she's like, "No, you're not." in a loving way.
I'm good with animals. I know stupid stuff about animals. I also know stupid stuff about science, like and like history. I know a lot about history. I'm really into my history, but like actual TV and like film, terrible. My chat know all about how bad with film I am. They're trying to educate me. I watched Alien for the first time the other week. It was decent.
Yeah,
Not
I've even found I don't watch Netflix or Hulu or anything like that very much anymore. I'm becoming less and less and less of a TV person. Like I watch YouTube content and Twitch, obviously.
But Twitch has become my life. I used to binge TV all of the time. Like TV used to be my like binge, but the hobby Twitch has become my entire life now. I love waking up in the morning and seeing who's streaming. I love going and like I lurk a lot. I'm a heavy lurker because I'm normally working a lot of the time. So while I'm watching, but I just love. Oh my gosh, I love our hobby Twitch community. Everyone's so supportive and everyone's just so nice. I have not met. I'm trying to think. No, I don't think I've met not a bad person. Like not actually like clashed with someone properly. I have enjoyed my time that I've spent with pretty much every single person within this community. And
Until now.
Until now. I definitely think like we have the best community. Like gaming, because I have quite a few friends that are in the gaming community within Twitch. Terrible, terrible, terrible place to be. I hate it there. And our community is just amazing. Like I know people that they're not even into that much into Warhammer, and they love just hanging out with Warhammer streamers because they may not know what's going on, but the community's so nice that they just support them. I mean, look at Abby, look at B. She hangs out in Warhammer streamers chats without me, just independently, and she loves it. She loves talking to people, and she doesn't even talk Warhammer, and people are just so supportive with her, and they don't ever shrug their shoulders and go, "Get out!" Like like you're not into Warhammer, you don't belong here.
I'm
If you want to
sorry.
be here,
You
then
don't
you can be
know
here.
what the latest releases are for Warhammer community. Could you kindly just see yourself out? Thank you. Yeah, like we're definitely not those people.
No.
And like for the record, there are pockets of cool video game streamers out there. There's one
Oh
guy.
yeah.
There's one guy. His name is Moop Shark. He is such a sweetheart. He's such a nice guy, and I enjoy hanging out in his chat because he loves to play like Vermintide, and he's really excited for Darktide.
Oh,
And
I'm so excited for Dark
oh,
Tide.
same here. Like
Yeah,
we
I'll be
definitely,
streaming that.
yes, I was about to say we need to get like I'll play with you. We'll get like 2 other people and we will team up and we will
Hell
play
yeah.
Dark Tide together as a team.
Hell yeah.
And while I wait, because I was like, oh, I'm like this close to buying Back for Blood, and then I was like, wait a minute, I've Left 4 Dead 2.
Wait, Back for Blood, I've been playing that like non-stop at the moment. I've been really enjoying it. Really
I
enjoying it.
once I found out that you can't play Back for Blood without without other people, like you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to play with other people. I was like, 9 times out of 10, I want to play by myself. Like even with stupid AI, I just don't want to. I just want to mindlessly kill stuff. And then I'm like, Left 4 Dead 2. This game's been out so long that if you have it, you get all the DLC. You get an amazing modding community that has created more weapon skins and character skins, whole new levels and campaigns. Like it's just,
No, no, I understand that. See, I'm playing with my friends. We're playing a campaign, and that campaign is through the tutorial, through the first time we played it. So we've got 2 bots with us. So it's me, my friend James, and then we've got 2 bots. So like it's been perfect for me. And then the other people I've played with 4 people. So the only time I've had to experience it was when a couple of my friends couldn't make it. So I jumped in with somebody else and there was only 3 of us and I had to deal with a shitty person on the internet that just speed ran the whole thing. But no, I'm really excited for Dark Tide. I hope that you can just play it with. If there's 2 of you that wants to play it, just let's 2 of you play it. If there's 3 of you, let's 3 of you. If there's 4 of you, like cool. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but the thing that is that you can't run it solo and you don't get any character progression, you don't get any in-game currency, you don't get cards, you don't get anything. If
There's a
you
solo campaign on Black for Blood.
Yeah, but you don't get any sort of character progression
Do
if you do.
not.
Nope.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If you boot it up, it'll specifically tell you you don't get experience, you don't get copper, you don't get anything for
That's
doing it.
crazy.
And that was the takeaway for me. That I was just like, nope, 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 nope. So I'll just go play Left 4 Dead while I wait, and then Battlefield 2042 is gonna come out, and then I'm gonna
I was gonna say
ride.
that's out soon.
I'm gonna put my wingsuit on, and I'm gonna ride a tornado the way God intended.
Oh wait, God intended.
So like yeah, 2042. Wee. That's
I actually love that trailer. That trailer is
the
fucking
fact that
class.
they put in the trailer the rocket jump out of an airplane. That was like there was one guy, they even said who that guy was because his name was on the side of the airplane, like where it says the pilot's name.
Mhm.
You can see that the person who created that clip, the very first time you saw someone launch themselves out of a plane, aim a rocket launcher, blow up another plane, and then land it back on their own plane and then keep flying. Yeah, the rocket shot. Oh my god, such a like I never cheer at trailers. I cheered when I saw that. I was like, yeah. Hello, my lovely wife. She has
Hello,
returned.
Rhino wife.
Orky
Hello,
says
Rhino
hi.
wife. Hi,
So,
Mrs. Rhino.
all right, chat. What sort of hobby-related questions do you have for myself and Orky today? This
Do you
is
have
we have opened
questions?
up. I've found based on the time I had with Sauce that it was great to have like kind of in our case a little more loosey goosey conversation about certain aspects of the hobby and how we approach it and dealing with like burnout or just kind of like an inability to focus on or give attention to something for long periods of time. You found your solution. Get rid of your shit. Which is not I'm not discounting that as a solution. It is a solution because like you said, the ultimate answer is you can always go back and get the models again.
I can. I can. And that's a big thing for me. I was thinking about it and I was like, if my plan is I'm gonna like look at all of my plans for like 2020, I guess. 2022. 2020. Fuck me, that was ages ago. 2022. Um, and like if it's not in my top 7 or 8, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna get rid of it. I don't need it. I can wash my hands of it. And then I'll go and work from there.
And
Even
imagining
if it
that
just even if it just gets boxed up and I'm like, no, I really want to keep these things. Whether they were like gifted to me or whether they were like um I really, really want to keep them. I don't feel comfortable. Like I've started them. Like I have a few things that I've started that I probably won't finish until the end of 2022. So I'm like, oh well, I could box them up and have them out of the way, mentally out of the way, and then I'll revisit them when I need to. I definitely want to start the year with a bit more of a clean slate of miniatures.
And that's a great goal. And like you said, even boxing them up and like putting them under a bed, like, you know, out of
Hmm.
sight, out of mind sort of thing. Um, just I started to freak out when I bought stuff for the Sisters Army. And I still had to finish. No, I had gotten the Sisters stuff, and then I almost immediately made the trade for Custodes stuff. And I had two armies, or the start of two armies worth of stuff sitting there, and I started to hyperventilate because I'm like, I have too much of a backlog.
Yeah, yeah.
So I definitely understand, like if I had like just what you describe you have sitting around, I probably would have curled up in the fetal position, like, no,
I have over
no.
500 models that haven't got a lick of paint on them, which is horrible to think about. Can you accomplish better results if you do everything by hand rather than washes? What do you rely on washes? Do you wash everything?
I'm washes have a place. I've actually found myself using them less, but I don't
Hmm.
discount washes. Washes have some incredible abilities. Like I love using one of my favorite ones is actually the Cryptek Armor Shade Gloss because it is perfect for oil stains because it still has that bit of a sheen. So putting them around pistons, like where you would get that slight oil
Hmm.
buildup, or even just using it to create that kind of more shiny, metallic, dark metallic oil look, looks great on Necrons, looks great on vehicles, looks great on the ground for my basing. I really like that, but I mean, like, I don't paint a whole model using washes. I mean, you could paint a whole model using contrast paints, but painting a whole model with just washes, I think, is kind of a
No, I mean, I think what they mean is like relying on washes. So when I first started Warhammer, and literally within the last 6 months, I've only changed from this. It would be base color, wash, you go back in, highlight up. That was that's how you do it. That's how you paint Warhammer, and that's how it's taught a lot within beginner to intermediate paint jobs. Whereas I've started learning now how to not paint with washes, how to paint with the shadow color, glaze up or highlight up to your highlight color, and you never actually have to use a wash. So, like for me, I think you're right. Washes have a place. There's certain things that you need to use washes for. I will never not use a wash for the sake of not using a wash. If I think the wash is going to accomplish the job just as well as what I'm going to paint, I'll use a wash. But you can paint in shadows, you can glaze in shadows rather than doing, just washing it with agrax. But I definitely think both apply for different things. I've learned that don't ever wash flat surfaces. You don't need to wash a flat surface. Do a pin wash if you wanna get in. Whereas I used to literally be like, okay, this model has now been base coated. Let's dip it in Agrax and then we'll repaint it. Yeah.
yeah. I'm a big fan of pin washing.
Mhm.
So okay, so we do have a few things that people have now been like throwing questions at us. So Cosmic asks, "Am I the best mod?" Cosmic, do you have a GIF? Like a GIF command in my chat? Maybe then you're not the best mod. Um,
Savage.
Hootie has one.
Savage.
What is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color? Lancelot, find the Holy Grail, blue. Um, do do do. I know Orkie's answer, but Rhino, if you had a model made in your honor, what model would you want it to be?
Mhm. That's a good question.
Warlord Titan. No.
The biggest model ever.
The biggest model ever. No, that's a Tau Manta. Apparently the
Mhm.
Manta is bigger. But no,
It is.
like jokes aside, given my name, it would probably be a third to add to the collection, a third um Cosmic Rhino Apothecary.
Ooh.
But if I was going to do it, I would like take like a headless, like a helmetless head, and then I would actually like sculpt a horn coming out of his head. Which trying to do that and
Ooh.
have it not look chaosy would be the hardest thing I will have ever attempted.
Yeah.
But that would be like my idea of a self insert. Um,
I like
When you look out your window, what? No, Cosmic, I'm not going to answer that question. Quite a.
Where's a good place to find Warhammer/wargaming groups? Just calling around and asking gaming shops. Haven't played in a few years, but I'd like to get back into playing again. It gives me the motivation to just get painting again. Um, I, I don't know where you live, like what like part of the world, but there's within England, and I don't know whether they've got some in America. Right now, you'd be able to start do the American side, but like we have geek retreats and we have traveling mans outside of actual Games Workshop shops that normally run Warhammer events and like get-togethers. So just literally just go. I went in store and I was just like, "Hi, do you have like a Warhammer club?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Cool, can I sign up?" And they like gave me the details to join the Facebook group and put my name down so then I could um then get contacted to talk to so they could talk to me so I could get in store when they were meeting up. So I would definitely recommend doing that. As well as like your local Games Workshop do run events where they'll new people events where they'll invite new people to come and meet each other, and some of the veterans will probably be there to help learn some of the stuff and pass along some of the knowledge.
Here in the States, it is down to your local game shop. We don't, like, the country's much bigger. We don't have as many Warhammer worlds. So going to your local game shop and saying like, "Do you guys have a 40K day?" Like my local game shop for a long time had a 40K group, but it became incredibly toxic. So the owner said, I'm cutting this. Like, we're not doing any more 40K events. You guys are being bastards." And those people, when he did that, left and went to other shops, and he's slowly building it back up. And it's a much more, from what he said, it's a much more positive experience now. So just go to your local game shop if you're in the US, ask, and probably the same thing is going to happen. Like, you'll find out like Sundays, Saturdays, Mondays, whatever is the Warhammer day. They'll have a Facebook group where you might be able to like ask ahead of time, like, "Hey guys, I'm going on Monday. Anybody want to play a 2,000 point game?" And then you'll get somebody to say yes, so you know someone's bringing a 2,000 point army to play against. It can be intimidating, especially to walk into a new place that you don't know anybody and to ask these kinds of questions. But if the store owner wants to make money off of you, which is their business goal, they will be nice to you. They will be welcoming. They will be accommodating. And most Warhammer people, as the Twitch community is a good indication of, are actually really nice, because if they're
Yeah.
not nice, they don't have people to play against. And we have Chris Vilk through, oh my god, through 500 bits at me. Keep talking and take my money. Fine, thank you. How did the very first model you two ever painted look, and / do you still have it, and can you show it?
I do still have mine. Where's mine? I'll get mine.
I don't have it. I used to have a video of it, but picture this: an assault intercessor from the Indominus box, painted red, with a black shoulder pad to be Blood Angels, and then I oiled the ever loving shit out of it and did ever so slight attempts at like blending some orange at the tops. Like, it wasn't very good. We'll just say that it wasn't very good. Unfortunately, I don't have it. When I stripped it and started using it for my custom Space Marine chapter, I did not know the rule of keep your first mini. So, oops.
Yeah, any new person that comes into my chat, I'm always like, "You may hate your first mini, but always keep it." Yep.
Oops.
So I wish I'd kept some of my Eldar. So quite a while ago, I sold my entire Eldar collection to pay for my Death Guard collection, and I really wish I'd kept one. I had Eldritch or L something something. It was a HQ, and I also had a Wraith Knight as well that I loved, and I just sold all of it to make it easier. But I do have the first ever Dark Eldar. So this I got Dark Eldar passed down to me, and it's the paint is thick. The color scheme is terrible. Let me see if I can
How
just
many
swap
C's
over
thick is that paint, Orky?
Oh, too many,
It's too many C's. Too many C's.
Let me see if I can. I don't know how that's gonna be on your.
We can see it. We can see it, but it's blurry.
Let me adjust the thing. I was trying to move my
Yes, perfect. Nailed it.
There we go. It's so thick, and I'd never even really done anything like this before, and just oh god, just bless my soul. And then this is the first ever time I tried using washes. Way too thick. I thought I was trying to blend. I was trying to like do these transitions of blues, and it's
Yeah,
just
I see
God,
that. I
yeah.
see it.
But I'm so proud that I have that because now I can show people like when like new people come into my chat and stuff like that, and they're like, if they ever say like, "Oh, I wish I could paint like you," and I'm very active on being like, I haven't painted like this my whole life. We all start somewhere. We all start with thick paint jobs, not knowing how to thin our paints, not knowing how washes work, and not understanding color theory. It comes with practice, and the more you paint, the better you'll get. And yeah, I love having these. I really wish I kept some of my Eldar, but I'm really glad I have these.
Yeah.
And they're very close to my heart. These two little models, they really are.
There are several models that I've done that, like you were talking about level up pieces.
Hmm.
I have given all of my level up pieces away as charity prizes. So
Yeah.
like the big demon that was a bloodletter, or like the big corn like demon prince that I
That was
painted.
the limited edition one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was a level up paint job for me. That was like
Yeah.
the first time I did OSL right. That was the first time I got like I got leathery wings. I got leathery
Yeah.
wings right, and I was like, "Oh!" And then it was immediately like, "Won by Queen of the Banshee." I'm like, "Perfect. Couldn't have gone to a better
Perfect.
person." Off it goes, never to be seen again by me. Same thing with my the Morty that I painted. That speedrun Morty that looked really really good.
Hmm.
That went to Shiro because he won that. So I told him he had to do a Death Guard army because you can't have Morty
You
and not
can't
have a
have
Death Guard army.
Mortarion and nothing else. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm not allowed to play 40k in one of my locals because I make mean lists. Yes, Hero was denied the because yeah,
Then
he just makes terrifying lists, and I'm just like, you need to start playing like Gene Stealer Cult or
yeah.
something. Something. Find the weakest meta army and play that. That's just
Oh,
like your new challenge.
that's the other thing I have for the person that mentioned about their beginning models. I have this. I'm sure anybody that hangs out in my chat that's here is going to be sick of hearing about this. But I have the Snazwagon project, which is going to be a lifetime project. So one of the first ever models I ever painted for my orcs was a Snazwagon, and oh man, it's so thick. I can feel the weight on it. And this was 3 years ago, and then I repainted the Snazwagon a year ago. And I
Oh,
plan to do another Snazwagon next year because I've had quite a few levels up this year. So I'm going to paint another one in the new year. And my plan is to have a shelf of all of the Snazwagons as I've got a better painter and show like different methods and stuff. And then eventually the dream is to win Golden Demon with a Snazwagon and be able to be like, this is a Golden Demon Snazwagon, and this is the first ever Snazwagon I ever completed when I first got into Warhammer. Like, this is 10 years of work here, like,
that
in front
is
of you.
such a great idea.
It's gonna
Holy
take a long
crap.
time. It'll be a lifetime project, but like I've done it once and I loved it. And I love having these two. I will never get rid of this model. I love having these two. So I want to keep doing that every time I have a couple of level ups and show different ones. Yeah, if you're gonna send me a model, just send me a Snazwagon. I'm gonna need a
Yeah,
lifetime
she's
supply
gonna
of
need
Snazwagon.
a lot of and the best part is you could, well, I mean, 3 being the max unless you took separate detachments, but you could potentially run like the Orky timeline list, which is probably suboptimal, but you have like 3 patrol detachments with like a total of 9 Snazwagons.
Well, you could just take an outrider detachment, which means you could take 9 Snazwagons.
No, but it's the rule of 3. You can only take 3 of the same
But they're the
unit.
same. They go under the same unit, so you can run
Oh,
three
I what's
squads of
I
3 Snazwagons.
okay. I didn't know what I thought they were like single unit.
Nope, you can get 3 in a unit.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yep.
Yes. Then do that. Okay, I'm capable of finding stores and all that. The community here is just more insular. Oh, in Wichita, I believe you mentioned. Uh, if it wasn't Wichita, I apologize. I know it started with a W. More insular than anywhere else I have lived. That's why it's been hard. The people aren't rude by any means, just not easy to get into the groups. I made friends going to I had just gotten out of college, moved back to my hometown, and I had been wanting to get into D&D. The way I did that was I talked to my the new game store that I started going to. Like, the owner was a really nice guy. I'm like, hey, this is what I was thinking of doing on this day. Are you okay with me taking one of these tables and just sitting there with stuff ready to go for D&D if people sit down to play with me? He's like, absolutely, yes. Oh my God, yes. And I eventually got 3 people to sit down, and they're like, what's you waiting to do a D&D game? I'm like, yes. Do you want to play? And
Do you want to play?
and they were like, yes. Oh my God, yes. And I'm like, here's your character sheets. Let's go. And then custom character sheets and so on happened, and I ended up playing D&D with those people for like 3 years. And they're still friends of mine.
I love that.
So what and the best part was that, like, I have to allow Captain Gingebeard because he said big dick. Goddamn, that's a big dick alpha maneuver. So it wasn't. In fact, actually, I would say it was almost a very introverted thing to do, because I'm like, are you okay with me sitting in this corner with my D&D stuff? Will you throw me out if I'm just sitting here? And people came to me.
Nah, I wouldn't be able to do that.
I didn't go seek people out. I was 100% okay with just sitting there playing games on my phone, waiting for people to show up for D&D stuff. And
nah, that's brave to do that, man. I think that's some big dick energy.
So the thought would be, Tabletop Avenger, to maybe just find out from your local, not even from the D&D or the D&D, from the 40K groups. Find out what day at your local game shop is 40K day. Just show up with an army. Like, these people are going to be a little insular because you're a new person. They don't know you very well. And yeah, the hobby does tend to attract introverts. So bringing in someone new can be a little hard. So if you show up, are friendly, say like, hey guys, I've got a 500-point army. Anybody want to play a quick game?
Oh yeah, I was saying that I've like signed up to these clubs. I haven't been to one yet. I'm too terrified. I'm terrified. I think it's the one that's such a scary thing of trying to go and introduce yourself to new people. I'm mad respect with that. And my plan is just to show up and be like, hello, and just try and speak to some people and try and my thing for me is, and I don't know whether this will apply to you, but it's something that I have to remind myself, is nobody makes a best friend on the first day. It's always weird on the first day. So I keep saying to myself, just give it till, like, once you start going, give it a month, give it 2 months, like, keep trying to go. It doesn't matter if it's a bit weird, but just keep going. Just keep going, and eventually you'll love it, because you'll eventually get over that weirdness. For me, anyway, that's how I am.
Every friendship starts with those kinds of statements of, like, just kind of sitting next to each other. So, do you like Xbox? Like, every friendship starts with some goofy stuff like that.
And for me, okay, so this is just a personal story. I have the world's worst resting bitch face. Horrific, horrific. And everyone that I am super good friends with now have all turned to me, and they've all been really honest, and they've been like, "Listen, I thought you were an awful person when I first met you. I really didn't like you when I first met you." In real life, because I'm very standoffish, but that's the introvert in me. That's the nerves, and I'm scared to let people in. I'm scared to let my barrier down. I'm better than I used to be, but that's taken a lot of practice. But even my best friend Abby, and all the friends that were the closest to me at like work and like at my old job, all of them, while we've been on nights out or we've gone for meals or whatever, they've been like, "I hated you when I first met you. I thought you were the biggest bitch." Like, honestly, and it's bad. It's bad, but you don't realize how people actually are, and you may feel a little weird, and you may feel like people have been standoffish, but I'm standoffish because I'm scared, and I'm scared of people. So just keep going, keep trying. I'm trying. Trying so hard. Trying so hard. I will get there eventually.
Another thing that also, like, because I have a really bad habit of not being able to remember people's names.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear somebody's name, I repeat it back to them, like, anytime, like, rather than, oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea, Orkie.
Yeah.
Orkie, thank you. Like, I try to make sure, or like, I mean, I wouldn't say those things back to back. That seems a little creepy. But
Like,
wait, is this
thank
guy trying to
Thank you.
sell me something? Thank you, Orky. That is an excellent point. Let me show you this wonderful new product we have for you here. It's called the Heavy Weapons Team, and you're just like, oh god damn it. No, it's smiling, as weird as it sounds, being emotive with your face. It's hard these days, especially with masks, but because of the masks, we make a lot more eye contact because we have to look at this upper part of the face to be able to know what emotion someone is having, which I have found I actually emote more with my eyes without using my face, like the rest of my face, because I don't need to. So like if I want to indicate that I'm happy or like, you know, like I'm just smiling at somebody, I don't actually do a full smile. I just do this. I just like crinkle up my eyes a little bit because that when I go like when I have my face covered by a mask, that looks like I'm smiling, right? I'm not. I'm not smiling, but I'm still happy. So masks are a plus. Yeah, you can hide the majority of your face with a mask.
I've just read Leech's, that moment when you hear Orkie's eyes roll, as B says. Yes. I have really, really bad eye rolls. And I don't even mean to eye roll 90% of the time. My friends call me out on it all the time. They're like, really? You're gonna eye roll at me? I was like, I didn't even eye roll. I don't know what you're talking about. My eyes are too expressive. They eye roll on their own. They're not mine. They're not mine, I swear. I swear. Your eye rolls are epic. Really bad.
Tabletop Avenger says they have 4 or 5 Frostgrave warbands and a very detailed
Ooh.
2x2 board. I just need the bodies. Perfect. Just show up
Gosh,
and say
yeah.
like, hey guys, I have a game. Anybody interested in learning how to play this?
Actually, I'm not gonna kill somebody. I mean, I need living people to play with.
That almost sounds even worse. Oh, I'm not going to kill you. I just need a living human to play against.
Yeah, I need living humans, not just bodies. I
Yeah,
need somebody to actually play with.
the dead people just they take way too long for their turns.
Thank you, Chicken. Thank you.
The eye rolling is the electric egg beater in the back of the head. It took me a second to get that image in my mind of like what the hell are they, and then I saw it. I saw the egg beater in the back and I saw someone pull the trigger and then I saw the eyes go
Yeah.
except because egg beaters spin like this. They don't spin in the same direction because they get caught on each other, so they're spinning inward, so your eyes would be going like in opposite directions and in circles, which would be even more scary. Like, how intimidating would it be if you're making eye contact with someone and when they show their displeasure, their eyes rotate like a chameleon in like full inverted circles?
No, that gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Tabletop Avenger. Okay, but you're from the Midwest, so you're very possibly a serial killer. As a person from the Midwest, yeah, that's fair.
Probably.
That's fair. The Midwest has produced only the finest of serial killers. We have so many cornfields in which to bury our bodies.
That's true.
It's very flat here.
It's very flat. Lots of places to hide the body.
Indeed. So, Orky, what is a dream model for you? Like, take the backlog, take like you have no commissions, you have no personal projects to work on. If you could pick one model to be put down in front of you and you get unlimited time to paint it as pretty as you want, what model would it be?
I've got two. One's like more of a one I think I could actually paint, and one's like I think I could paint in 5 years' time. One's the Keeper of Secrets. I love the Keeper of Secrets.
Oh, yes.
All that flesh and fabric. My favorite things to paint. Love that. But I would love one of the giant Eldar Wraith Knight things. You know, the big boy. The one Scary has, the big boy. But like I are at a level of freehand art that I would want to put on that model yet. Like I don't think I would be able to do that model justice. I feel like I could do the Keeper of Secrets justice right now. Like it would look it would look decent. Whereas if I got that tomorrow, the big Eldar thing tomorrow, I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know how to do it.
God, just thinking about trying to do, like, I mentioned it to Scary, actually, I think when you were on there as a guest. I was like, the edge highlighting on that alone would
Mhm,
make me want to kill myself.
mhm. Well, I would want to do like loads of like freehand. I'd want to do murals up it. I'd want to do that sort of thing. So like I've never done anything like that. I've never done freehanding on a miniature. If that even classes as a miniature anymore. Um, so for me, I wouldn't even know where to start. Whereas the Keepers of Secrets is something I could do and I could give like a really good paint job on. I'd give a really good go at a paint job anyway.
I would definitely be down to do a Keeper of Secrets as well, because it's unfortunate that there are certain models in certain armies that I'm like, oh my God, I want to paint one of those so bad. And I just want to make it look amazing. And then I'm
Hmm.
like, that, I mean, if I had a Keeper of Secrets, I'm almost obligated to make an army.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's my
So I don't like, I mean, that was actually one of the reasons why I was really glad to use Morty as a raffle prize, because I knew I would never make a Death Guard army.
Yeah, once you passed him out of your hands, you could sort of like feel like I don't have to make that army
Yes.
anymore. Yeah,
And the same thing with the big corn demon, the limited edition thing, because I'm like, if I have this, I do have to make a corn demon's army, because that guy's like half of it.
yeah,
So no.
no.
$140 for a Keeper of Secrets? Well, my interest has dipped. I'm not gonna pay. That's $10 less than Morty. Just get Morty. He's
I don't
better.
know. Keeper, yeah, I know, but Keepers of Secrets. Morty's great. I've painted Morty. I've pretty much finished Morty, and then I sold him. But he's a lot of like other than his wings, it's a lot of armor. Whereas for me, my two favorite things to paint in the world is flesh and cloth. I love painting flesh and cloth. It's what I'm best at. If someone was to say like, I'm going to commission you, what is your best at like best thing that you can paint? Mine is anything with that sort of texture, the flesh, the cloth. I don't really like mechanical stuff as much,
So if someone
really.
said, Orky, can you paint me Space Marines? You'd be like, no.
I'd be like, no, no, you can leave. No, I don't like painting Space Marines. I don't find them fun. I think they're great to start the hobby with because you learn a lot about edge highlighting and stuff like that. But I actually skipped that and went straight into orcs, so I've never learned how to properly edge highlight a Space Marine.
I don't edge highlight.
Yeah,
Fun fact, everybody, Dr. Rhino doesn't edge highlight. He doesn't do it at all, ever, and will never do it.
I
Nope.
don't think I could ever work for the heavy metal team because I wouldn't be able to replicate that sort of painting. That's not my style at all. Like the clean edge highlighting. I can look at it and really appreciate it, but it's not something that I enjoy painting.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, other than orcs and I guess demons, there is nothing that has a higher flesh and cloth ratio
I
in
think
the
it's
game.
why I've been leaning towards Age of Sigma so much because there's so many like animals. Like I love, 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 and I really want to paint, and I will at some point, potentially in the new year. The Sons of Behemoth, big boys.
Mm-hmm.
I have a paint job idea for it and everything. I know exactly what I want to do. I know how I want to kit bash it. I know everything. It's just it's expensive for a model, and I'm not building an army around it. I just have that one model, and I sort of feel like, can I really justify just spending that much money on one model that'll sit and look pretty on my desk? Ugh, I don't know.
Well, I commissioned Cephalopod Studios to do my Silent King. That's just sitting there looking pretty. I like, the more I think about it, I really don't have any time in the near future any intention of making a Necron army. And since I paid for it, even though like the quality of the paint job is worth way more than what he charged me, I
Hmm.
I I could never turn around and sell something that he sold me.
Yeah, yeah,
I
hundred
that
percent,
that just feels shitty in the extreme.
100%, 100%.
So like I have a lovely centerpiece on my mantle to go with all the other awesome stuff that, like, I've got a model from Echo's Side, Jarrett's Terrain Minis, Dinkelberg. I got Dinkelberg's model from the the Saucemas this summer, and Matt Yee. I got a model from Matt Yee. So our beloved Yee Yee boy.
Yee. Yee.
Oh, also, chat, I just want to make sure you understand. Like, we were low-key trying to see if we could get Orky to Adepticon. And it's...
Well, low-key.
And it seems that, at least as of now, that particular ship has sailed. And yes, and I do have stuff from Cerantis and Ramius, but those are in an army that I play. These aren't, like, display... Not to say that those pieces aren't display quality pieces. The ones from Ramius and Cerantis are definitely display quality pieces, but... The pieces I got from everyone else are models that are like individual and unique. They're not part of an army. So that's why I didn't mention them cosmic. But yes, those models are mine. But the backup plan, everybody, because I am going to Adepticon, and I know several of you are. I am going to have Orky make a cardboard cutout, life-size, or at least send a picture of herself that we will have printed and backed on cardboard. So we'll have a standee, like a little cardboard cutout of her that we are going to take around Adepticon. So if you find me, you'll be able to take a picture with Orky as if she was at Adepticon with you. So get ready for March of next year, because Orky's coming to America, kind of.
Kind of. Unless you know what? If I win the lottery and they open the borders, I'll be there. But unless that's the only two things that can happen. I need to win the lottery and the borders to open. That's the main two.
I legit think that would make me sad that she's not actually there. Where is Adepticon, Illinois? Yes, it is in Schaumburg. Yeah, that's the other thing. We'll just put you on one of those remote-controlled little tablet robots, and you'll just drive yourself around Adepticon.
That's such a good idea. I'll just, if I see anyone I don't like, I'll just crash into them and trip them up. Not that I don't like anyone, but you never know. I might just see someone and be like, do you know what, you look like you're a meanie. I'll go trip you up.
Well, and I mean, like it's not exactly like these robots move at like a mile an hour. So it's not exactly like you're going to build up ramming speed and go like crashing into them. It'll be like, take this.
But that's probably what it'd be like if I tried to attack somebody, because it seems like everybody's really tall and I'm very small.
Hey, small means lower center of gravity. It means you could like hop keto judo flip someone real easy because you're lower to the ground. So I don't take this the wrong way, but you got some intimidating scrappy energy about you. I wouldn't want to get in a fight with you.
I'm not afraid to bite as well, so
biting is an underrated technique.
Nobody expects to be bitten, and then as soon as you dig your teeth in, they're like, "What the fuck?" and they freak out, and then you've won, haven't you?
Yeah, there's the thing that people are known to say that the amount of bite force that it takes to bite through a carrot is about what it takes to bite through a finger.
It is, yeah. You can. The only thing stopping you from biting through a finger is your own brain. So.
Yep.
I will bite your fingies off.
Hey, chat. Remember, like, this isn't an offer. This is a threat. So please abstain from any like, yes, Orky comments. Why would you do that? Or why would you know that? No reason.
No reason. No reason.
Oh boy.
I said that once at the Science Hour with Orky. Yeah, I love Science Hour. Still need to get my coat, actually.
Oh, we gotta... I can stretch one side of my body. This arm is still kind of ganked. So...
What did you do to your arm?
I got a flu shot 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I am still, like, experiencing a lot of pain in the shoulder, so I have an appointment with my doctor in another 2 weeks. So, just trying to figure out why I can't lift anything with my right arm. Like, elbow down, I'm okay, but if I try to lift my shoulder basically past, like, 15 degrees, inside or out, nope, awful. So, Miss Orky.
Yes.
What final thoughts would you like to share with chat before we end this lovely conversation? Because we both have stuff to do. My wife is back from her weekend trip, and I would like to go have lunch with her And
I
I'm
need a
sure,
nap.
and you need a nap.
Yeah, I need a nap. It's a hard life. I need to go nap. Final thoughts. No thoughts, smooth brain. Uh, um, I don't know. Be kind to each other. I don't know.
Be
I feel
kind,
like you put me on,
rewind.
I feel like you put me on the spot.
Yes, Orky, and now give us your life-altering words of wisdom.
Um,
Go.
there's
Right
no
now.
mistake you can't lick away. That's my life-altering knowledge for you.
Nope, that's
Valid.
yeah. Yeah. Just as long as whatever mistake you've made is not lead-based, I think you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Top tier advice. Absolutely.
Yep. Even then.
Everyone's yep, checks out.
Yep. Check out. Yep. That's my life-altering. That's my life-altering. You take that into. If you take that into your life, you will change your life. Honestly.
Indeed, you would. You'd change a lot of ways that you approach things. Like,
Exactly.
I entered the PIN number wrong on the ATM machine. Blech.
Little lick.
All right. Well, the last thing I
Did
want to
just do that?
the last thing I want to leave all of you with is a massive thank you for joining us today. Orky being an awesome, giggly little chat guest. I love doing the episodes of this podcast. If you are interested in being able to watch the VOD of this, it will be available on my YouTube channel, which is the link to it is like under Orky in the little about section. You'll see like the little button for Discord, YouTube, and Instagram and stuff. But it will be available in 30 days because the patrons have exclusive access to it as an unlisted YouTube video for 30 days after it is released. And then it'll be available on YouTube for everybody. So until then, take care of yourselves.
It's not there.
What's not
Sorry.
there? What's
Your
not there?
YouTube link.
It's not?
It's not. You have your Discord, Instagram, Patreon. You don't have a YouTube link.
There should be a YouTube.
It's not there.
Well, just search my exact name, Dr. Rhino _ on YouTube. It'll be easy. And yeah, I don't have a command for it either to Doom because I'm a bad content creator.
What? Come on, Rhino, you got this.
I've got like 12 subscribers. Thank you to the 12 people who subscribe to the channel, but it's not a huge priority for me. It's just a repository for and remember, all of these videos are going to be unedited, like raw, uncut.
There you go, chat. There's his YouTube.
Oh, thank you, Orky. But yeah, that's where all the previous episodes that have been released of the YouTube or of the podcast are out. There are 3 episodes now, including this one with Orky, that will be exclusive to patrons. The interview with Tycho Imaga from Play on Tabletop, the interview with Sauce, and now this one are going to be available on Patreon and then on YouTube for the public in like 30 days. So thank you, Orky, for helping me be a better streamer by having my YouTube links. I've learned a lot from this conversation, whether or not you'd be willing to admit that or accept that. Actually, now I'm perfectly willing to admit it. Whether or not you're willing to accept it, that's a completely different thing.
I would accept anything. I love being here. I was saying earlier, I absolutely love coming over and hanging out with you. I think you're absolutely amazing human. I think you've done so much for this community, and it's always an honor when you ask me to do things with you. So thank you very much.
Oh, and speaking of things that we are doing, don't forget, everybody, in less than a week, mark your calendars. So when this chat started, 10 o'clock, or is it 11? When are we? 10. I'm assuming it's 10 or 11. No, it's 11. So like a week from now, an hour ago, this we will be starting our episode 2 of our D&D game called Dungeons and Degenerates, where Orky, Zambies, Jarrett's Terrain Minis, and Sir Jacob are going to be joining me for another adventure in our little D&D land, where anybody who donates to the International Rhino Foundation during that game will push us towards every $100 that we raise. The players have to draw a card from a deck of many things. And it's not the deck of many things. It is a deck of many things because you have all gotten the ability to create cards for it. And let me tell you, Orky, some of these things are just downright vicious. And
I have heard through the grapevine that I should be scared if I get some cards.
yes. Yeah, you might want to remove that. But yes, the D&D game is going to be amazing because they don't have a choice in the matter. They are going to have to draw one of these cards. So
Oh no, Rhino's forcing us to come to the D&D game.
yeah, that
Like, it's
too.
forcing us. Yeah, like I have no choice.
It's a blackmail situation because obviously I can't be everywhere at once, so I just use digital threats.
Yeah, he's got some bad dirt on me. He really does. Yeah.
Doctor Dead. Don't you worry. There are some really cool ones in there too. And there's some funny ones, but I mean, like I said, when I say like, oh, you need to be scared, it's hyperbolic. There is an actually pretty even mix of good and bad things, just like the real deck of many things.
Well, it's like some of the good things, some of the bad things were actually good for us, and some of the good things actually screwed us over in the last one. Like the good things weren't always like the best thing in the world, and like the bad things, although bad things did happen, poor zombies. You know, some of them were just
Jacob
like,
saved her with a well-worded wish.
a well-worded wish.
Yes,
A
which hilariously,
well-worded.
I thought I was just like, he worded it acceptably. I will bring her back with no side effects. But then she's like, unspoiled. Does that mean I'm like a virgin now? And I'm like, yes, yes. I'm just like, yes, that was my intention the whole time. It wasn't. I'm just rolling off of what you guys decide.
Yeah, all the Sauce's fortune was bad luck for us anyway. Might have been good luck for him, but
Sauce getting 50,000 gold worth of stuff and a house and the title of Lord.
I had a castle and just...
Well, you had a knight. You had a loyal servant that you just let die.
He's not dead.
No, he's dead. He died.
No, he's not.
He's very dead.
No, he's not dead.
He took...
His soul, got turned to stone, you said.
No, you're right. Okay, he's not dead. His body is a plate mail covered puddle, like just a wet noodle on the floor. His soul is trapped in another dimension, and you have no idea where it is.
Exactly. He's not dead. His soul's just in another dimension.
You're right. He's functionally in a coma.
I like to think about the fact that he's still hoping that my lady Orkie is gonna come and save him. But
she is never gonna do that. Especially because what is he gonna come back to? Because I don't see you guys dragging like 300 pounds of muscle, meat, and plate mail out of a cave.
I only knew him for like 20 minutes. It's his own fault. He should have bonded with me better.
He's not dead. He's effectively dead.
When you argue with the DM who's dead, that's how you end up dead, Orkie.
And the best part is because you're like, oh, we have to draw a card. Can I make him draw a card for me? I'm like, he'd willingly do it. And of course he drew a bad one, so it saved you.
I would have been dead. My character would have been dead. I'm so glad I got that night. Poor Sir Jacob. R.I.P.
Yeah. Adios, amigo. But you'll be able to see all sorts of crazy shenanigans like that come next week. So keep an eye on Instagram, keep an eye on Twitch and other social medias. Myself and the other players are going to be hyping it up as much as we can.
Hell yeah.
So, all right, y'all. Now for real this time. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all for hanging out. And patrons, keep an eye out on the Patreon for the link to this YouTube video once I get it uploaded. All right, everybody. Bye.